Hi, I'm Francesco. In today's video, we will check how you can monitor a Postgres database or really any service that you can create with the Aiven console by pushing the related metrics to an InfluxDB database and adding on top a pre-built Grafana dashboard. So let's start. So what we want to do is basically to send the metrics of an Aiven instance to InfluxDB and then monitor it with Grafana. If you prefer a written version of the same setup, you can find it in our new developer center, where we have an article dedicated to this. If you scroll down, we can see what we are actually going to build. So we will take the Aiven for Postgres metrics, create a service metrics integration to send the metrics to InfluxDB, and then create a pre-built Grafana dashboard on top with Aiven for Grafana. So let's build. We are here in an Aiven project, and what we have is a running Postgres database that we want to monitor. How can we then send the metrics to InfluxDB? We just click on the Postgres database, and we can scroll down and click on Manage Integrations. We can then use the Aiven solution, and we can say, I want to store the metrics into another service. This overview will basically show us that we can send the Postgres database metrics back to Postgres if needed. This is on paper okay, but really it's not, because you don't want to send the Postgres metrics back to Postgres because you are basically altering the system that you are trying to measure. So in order to keep our production database standalone and send the metrics to somewhere else, let's click on New Service and let's select the new InfluxDB service. We can choose as a backend InfluxDB, M3 or Postgres as of now. Let's click on Continue. Let's give it a name, for example, Influx metrics. Leave the cloud and the region as default, and the startup floor plan should be okay. Let's click Create and Enable. So what this will do is, if we go to the Service tab, we'll create a new Influx instance because we didn't have an Influx before. And if we click on the Influx, we can see that there is an active service integration receiving data from PG-Prod. Okay, this is the middle component. What about the Grafana dashboards? We can again click on Manage Integration, and we can select this time Grafana Metrics Dashboards. What this will do is, will require us to either select an existing Grafana service or create a new Grafana service. So let's click on New Service, New Grafana Service, and let's call it Grafana Monitoring. Let's leave the cloud region and plan as default. So what this integration does is, it creates a new Grafana service, as we can see here. And if we click on the Grafana monitoring, we see that there is an active integration of type dashboard. So the type dashboard would not only create basically a linkage between InfluxDB and Grafana, but also will populate the Grafana instance with a pre-built dashboard that the Aiven engineers created in order to monitor Postgres instances. So let's wait a couple of minutes until all the services are up and running, and then let's review all our setup. Okay, so all the services are up and running now. What we need to do in order to check that everything works is to head to Grafana monitoring, our Grafana instance, copy the password, open the URL in a new tab, log in with our Aiven admin user and the password that we just copied. And now we are in the Grafana dashboard. If we go to Dashboards Browse, what we can see is that we have a general folder. Within the general folder, we find the default dashboard that we created with the dashboard integration. If we open this up, it's pointing to our PG-Prod, our database, our production Postgres database. And if we scroll for the last, for example, 5 minutes, we will see all the beautiful metrics visualized in Grafana that are pointing to our Influx database that stores the metrics of our source Postgres database. So we can see, for example, the uptime, the load average, the memory, the unused memory, the CPU, context switches, processes, disk free. So all the beautiful metrics that we need to use in order to monitor our Postgres database. Now what we can do is also edit this default dashboard in order to, select the metrics that we want to focus on more. Just remember one thing: if you want to edit and to change this dashboard, please rename it, because our dashboard integration will periodically refresh and re-push the same default dashboard on top of Grafana. So to summarize, what we created is an out-of-the-box monitoring for our Postgres database by pushing the metrics to an InfluxDB database and adding a pre-built Grafana dashboard on top. If you found this content interesting, click like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I hope to see you soon for more tech videos. Bye from Francesco.